It was a bright day. It's gone a little bit more overcast at the moment, but I'm hoping these makes will bring us some sunshine. I'm going to do some little charm bracelets with you today. They're really straightforward to make. We are going to be using a little bit of chain, attaching on some little jump rings, and the most beautiful charms. Lovely, lovely colours for you. Some little hearts, some little stars, some little butterflies. So very spring-like. I've called them Tatiana. I think it's the Queen of the Fairies, so I thought they'd be quite sweet for Easter. We've also got Mother's Day coming up in the UK this weekend, so hopefully you all, have a lovely weekend. And if you're looking for something to gift or to make to keep you busy, then this might be the one for you. In terms of charm bracelets, we did see at the end of 23 and throughout 24, they did come into back into fashion, so to speak, and I expect that's going to continue this year in 2025. So these ones are quite delicate. We're using a nice sized chain. They're not too heavy, but it means that you can get the lobster clasp through the chain, so you can also make them adjustable to size if you want to. I'm using 8 inches of the chain. If you want to make that smaller, then you absolutely can. But as I say, you can make them slightly adjustable anyway, and you could always add an extender chain to these if you wanted to. If you wanted to double up, and in your kits, you should get enough to make 2 bracelets, I think it is. If you wanted to get more chain, they would also look lovely as necklaces if you wanted to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to say good morning to you before I take you over to the website. I'll show you what goodies we've got on offer, and it's going to be a nice quick make for you today. So let's see who's in. I've got Linda. She's saying good morning to her beading friends. She's in a nice warm and bright Watford, which is lovely, Linda, that you've got the sunshine there with you. Good morning to Nina. Hello to Heather. Hello to Carol. Rachel's in a cloudy Barrow. Lisa's good morning is to everybody and myself. Christine's in a sunny Darlington. So I'm hoping that, we get a little bit of spring on its way, because I just need that warmer weather. It's Wear Purple Day today in school for, is it epilepsy awareness? I think it was. So we do have some purples down on the map for you as well. I'll take you over to the website. In fact, should I show you down on the map? No, I'll take you over to the website and you can have a little look at them. So we're on totallybeads.co.uk. So here you go. You can head into the video tutorial section here, where my mouse is, or here, or of course you can go into the drop down menu and go to video tutorials that way. I hope you can see my screen when I'm doing it this way, because I think it probably cuts off a little bit. So let's go back. Video tutorials. So today we've got these lovely Tatiana charm bracelets. Queen of the Fairies, quite ethereal, very, very sweet to wear. So you can see we've got an aqua, a peridot, a purple, and a rose, and a royal blue as well. Now these come with all of your beautiful coloured charms. The reason they're different colours is the name of what the colours are on those charms. They're all silver, so I'm using silver chain, silver jump rings, silver little flower heart and star charms. Butterfly. And the casing around those lovely coloured charms are also in a silver too. So the only thing that changes colour is these lovely little charms. They are £4.50 per kit, and it makes up to 2 bracelets. So if you wanted to multi-buy, you could swap your colours round. This one here we've got is the lovely aqua colour. So you can see it makes 2 bracelets. You're getting your chain, so you've got enough to make 2. I'm using 8 inches per bracelet, just so you can see the size on that. You've got your lobster clasp, which, as I say, does fit into the links in the chain if you want to make it adjustable. You've got 2 sizes of your jump rings. I'm using the 6x1 outer diameter for the clasp here. but to attach on the charms, I'm using 4x1 outer diameter. So smaller jump rings, but they fit nicely. It's very similar in size really to the links on the chain. And then you've got your lovely charms, which are your butterfly, your star and your heart. And we've also got the Diamante Charms, which have the lovely colour in them. So that is this bracelet. You can have a little look here. You can see what you're getting. So I'm using the oval curb chain, which is 5x4. You're getting your Diamante hangers. So they've got a little loop already at the top of them that face nice direction. Just need to attach those smaller jump rings onto them. They're 4mm in size. You can see the colour on this one is beautiful, light blue, light aqua. I might be a little bit cheeky today and I might mix up some of the colours so you can see how they look. We've got these silver butterfly charms. They are hollow. They've got a hollow centre in the inside. They are pretty much the same on both sides. They've got slightly more domed side on one of them. Your hearts are the same on both sides, so you can think about how you'd like them placed. If you want them kind of facing towards each other, then you can just flip them round, and the stars are the same on both sides as well. So that's those lovely little bits for you. So that one is the aqua. And of course, you can place these however you want to. Some designs I have placed the stars next to the centre. Others I've done the hearts next to the centre. Sometimes I've done 2 charms next to the centre. We're going to start with a coloured charm. You're going to have in total, if you follow this design, 7 of the coloured charms, these little ones here, the Diamante ones. I'm using 4 stars, 4 hearts and 3 butterflies. I'm going to add a little butterfly onto the end clasp as well. So if you do want to kind of shorten it, you've got that little dangle, which looks quite pretty. This one is a lovely kind of peridot colour. Again, you can see how they all look at the bottom here. And I think a really, really good price for 2 bracelets today. But again, you can mix them up. They would make a really nice necklace as well, as I say, if you wanted to get that longer chain. This is the purple, a very gorgeous, bright, vivid purple. So if you do want to add any extra chain into your kit, you can just add more here. You could add the extra charms. So you might think, I just want one kit, but I want some purple and blue charms, and you might just want to add the extra blue ones in. You can do that just at the bottom of the basket quite easily. This one here is your rose. So it's a nice soft pink colour. It doesn't show too well on that photograph. But I'll show you them down on the mat. So that one is your rose. And lastly, this beautiful, bright, vivid royal blue. So all of your charms will stay the same in terms of the butterfly, the stars and the hearts. Your chain is the same. Your findings in terms of your jump rings and your clasp. The clasp is a 12mm in size. They're all the same. The only thing that changes is the colour of these lovely Diamante charms. Each kit is £4.50 in British sterling, and it makes up 2 bracelets. So I hope you like them. And I will go down on my mat so you can see how they look, and you can, I'll have a little look in the comments. So let me bring this one and we'll pop that there. And then let's see what I've missed in the comments. So we have our lovely Heather saying hello to us, and Carol, Rachel, Christine was in, Edward's come in to say good morning to you, Edward. We have the lovely Mandy in, who's in the sunny Wirral. Good morning, Natalie, and Beading family from a sunny Sudbury, says Jan. Good morning to Sue. Hello to Barbara. So she's looking forward to the weekend here. She'll be in the 70s. Ooh, Jan says she loves these. Good morning to Kath. She says, ooh, so pretty. You had a sneaky peek, didn't you, when you came for the birthday boy yesterday? and you've seen them ready to go down on my mat. And Heather is liking the peridot. Good morning to Anne. Hello to Mina. She's loving these. A few in my basket already. Could you mix the aqua and the royal blue today? I guess I could. I was going to do a little bit of a mix of all of them. I'm going to use 7. I was going to pick out these spring colours. In fact, I'll show you them in a sec on the mat and we'll have a little look. Heather's liking the rose too. Judith is in. Hello to you. Barbara's saying they'd make a cute anklet. They absolutely would, Barbara. Yeah, they would. Ooh. Ooh, so necklace, bracelet and anklet if you wanted to multi-buy. Good morning to Yolanda. She says happy Wednesday from Michigan. Hello to you, my love. I hope you're well. Jan's also saying they've all jumped into a basket. Well, that's nice. I'm happy that you like them. Let's go through them one by one. So this is the peridot one. So you can see the back of the charm has just got that lovely silver casing on it. And then you've got that beautiful bright flash of colour. We've got the butterflies, lovely little stars, and the little hearts as well. The only thing I would be mindful of is when you're placing on your hearts, think about which direction you might want them to face. So I've started to get them kind of pointing inwards. You could have them all the same, it really doesn't matter. So that one is your peridot. This one here is your beautiful purple. Don't even need to pick that up close. You can see how twinkly and gorgeous they are. They got a little kind of facet on the rhinestone there, so they'll sparkle. Morning, Sheila. Kath saying, ooh, yeah, cute anklet for summer. We've got this beautiful aqua colour. Loving those. They're very, very bright. Almost like a really good quality aquamarine colour, if anything. We've got these beautiful royal blue. And then we have the rose. So if I can show you the rose to get a little bit of focus, it is, I would say it's more on the pink side than it is the lilac. Maybe slight kind of tanzanite colour maybe. And they will dangle very prettily when you put it on properly. So they're your lovely colours today. All you're going to need is your charms. So you're going to get 7 charms. So I was going to place them like this. I'm not including them all in here. I did miss out the purple and the royal blue, just because I thought I'd go for more kind of spring colours. And I quite like that even symmetry running about with them. So we should have 7 charms of those lovely coloured ones. We're going to have our little hearts. So you can see here that the hearts look the same on both sides. So you can decide how you want them. We've got gorgeous little stars, again with that loop on the top. So it's really easy to use. That's the front and the back. And then we have butterflies. So the hollow butterflies. So it's nice and lightweight. That's the back and that's the front. There's not much difference on them. And I think it's nice having it that way, because then if they do, slightly move or whatever, then, well, it should move, it should dangle. So in terms of your positioning, just lay out how you want them. You can see here that I've put a rhinestone, Diamante charm rather, in between each one. And then at the end, I've just got my heart and my star. On some of the others, so this one, for example, I've placed it where I've put one of the hearts or the stars next to the butterfly in the centre, and then from there I've just alternated between them. So you can choose how you want to lay these out. It really, really doesn't matter. But what I would suggest is maybe just have a little think about how you want them placed. So I'm going to go for that green one in the middle, and then I'm going to pop my butterflies either side. You're getting 3 butterflies, so I'm going to use 2 in the centre and then 1 on the little clasp at the end. I think I'm going to then, I might I might add a heart next to this one, and I want those hearts pointing that way. And then I'm going to alternate with my Diamante Charms and pop a star in. Am I missing a heart? There it is. And then I'm going to go for the heart, and I'll have that pointing inwards. So flip that one round. And then I'm going to finish with the stars. So that could be one idea. You can have a little play around and see how you like. So really straightforward. I'm going to take the length of my chain that I want for my bracelet. So when I tend to do my samples up for my lives, I always do an 8-inch bracelet really, because I think that's the average size. And all I want to do is just attach my larger jump ring, which is my outer diameter 6 by 1, so it's 6 millimeters across, and it's made from a 1 millimeter or 18 gauge wire, and I'm just going to add them onto the bottom, and this is going to be what I attach my clasp on. So you can see whichever size jump ring you're using will fit in the link of the chain really nicely. I'm going to add a lobster clasp onto one side and close that up, just making sure I'm perfectly closing that jump ring. It's the only thing really you need to be mindful of when making these designs, is making sure that our jump rings are fully closed, especially when we're adding on our small charms like the stars and the hearts. You can see that's very fine, and if we don't close it properly, we could lose it. So I'm going to make sure that my jump rings are closed. So this is going to be how I attach on my clasp. I'm just going to make sure that is nicely lined up, take it slightly past the point where it meets, and line it up again. Heather says she's liking the butterfly charms. They're very cute. You can always add more in as well. So when I come to fasten my bracelet, I'm just going to fasten it like so. If, for example, I wanted to make it a little bit shorter, you can see I can get that lobster clasp through the chain there, and I can always wear it at a shorter length if I need to. But I want to make sure that we're getting everything nice and central. So what I'm going to do, let me see if I've got my other pliers to hand just in case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my chain in half because I want to find the centre. So if I just take those two jump rings that I've just attached on, I fold my chain in half and I find the centre of it. That middle link is going to be what I add on my first charm to. My first charm being the coloured one, this lovely peridot colour. So I'm going to attach that onto the centre link there, and then I'm going to just work from the middle out. That's going to make sure that I've got that lovely symmetry. So I'm attaching on my 4 by 1 jump rings. You can see they are smaller. So I'm going to give that a little wiggle. Don't have to open it too much. I'm going to take my first charm and just place that on through the little kind of loop at the top of the charm, and then going through that link and just being mindful that I'm getting it in the middle, because if I pull that, if I hold this here, if I hold this down to the center to get that space, it might prevent that chain from sitting back flat. So I want to get it here in the middle so the other links can move freely. So if you want, let me just check I've got that center one again. So I'm just going to line up those jump rings. Tend to just pop something through it like my pliers. Fold it in half. Check I have that center. And you can always add your jump ring on and then the charm if you want, whichever is easiest for you. So I'm just going to slide that on. Doesn't want to go with these pliers, I need some bigger ones. There you go. So I'm just going to pop it through the middle there and then attach my charm. and then closing it up. So I'm taking 2 pairs of pliers, plenty of surface area, and making sure that ring is nice and closed. And then what I tend to do is I lay it flat, and then I just work off as I go. So this should be in the centre. I'm not counting the links, but you could do if you want to. When I will count the links is when I'm moving away. So I'm going to put it on every third. My next charm is going to go every third link. So 1, 2, 3, my next one will be here. And 1, 2, 3, my next one will be there. And that's just going to make sure they're nice and evenly spaced. So I'm going to open up my jump ring again. I'm going to slide on my butterfly. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 links. And I'm just going to hook that on there. And then close it back over. Making sure it's closed. And you see that lines up lovely. And then again, I'll just lay it flat. Taking my next jump ring, which is my 4x1 outer diameter, which will all be included in your kit. I'm going to take my next butterfly. It's got a tiny little loop right at the top between its wings, and I'm just going to slide on my jump ring. It'll fit nicely in between there. You're not fighting with it. And I'm going to count 3 links away from that lovely coloured diamante. 1, 2, 3, and it's going to go onto this one here. Bring it up nice and close so you can see what you're doing. And then lay them flat to check your positioning. Hi Susan. Just hi Natalie, sorry I'm late. If you are just joining us, this is the Tatiana charm bracelet. Nice little spring wear. As I say, I think they're going to be, charm bracelets are still going to be very much a trend this year. I think we might be seeing more, chunkier, heavier chain and larger charms maybe, but I thought these might be just delicate and spring-like. So picking up my next charm, I'm going to pick up my heart, and I'm just going to consider which way round I want that to face, because it does taper. It's got a little tapered point at the bottom, so I'd like that taper kind of facing inward. Again, 1, 2, 3 links away from the last one. And just make sure it's nicely closed up. If you feel it's not fully closed, you can do a little bit of a cheat, and you can just press gently on the outside of that jump ring to close it up. Usually I wouldn't suggest to do that, because we want to make sure that we're not distorting our, the shape of our jump rings, but a little bit of pressure just to make sure it's closed up, I don't think will be an issue. Picking up my next jump ring. You can also just close it up first if need be. Don't want to put too much pressure. Don't need to open it up too much, just a couple of millimeters. Taking the next charm, being mindful of which way round that's going to be positioned. Sliding on my charm. 1, 2, 3 on the next link. You don't have to be overly precise where you put them. Do feel that's closed perfectly, but I'll give it a little push together just in case. And so you don't have to be absolutely, everything has to be in a particular place, but I think by just separating it out by 3 links each, they've got enough space. They fit quite nicely. Barbara says, I was thinking how cute this would be for my granddaughter and daughter-in-law, since the kit makes 2 bracelets. That would be lovely. I think depending on what you celebrate, if you do celebrate Easter, I know my nieces and nephews do, they just get so many chocolate eggs, which is lovely. But, I just think sometimes, I know my girls particularly like a bit of jewellery. So maybe this and a chocolate egg. They'll be disappointed if they don't get a chocolate egg. But they do make nice little gifts. So hopefully, Barbara, if you do gift them, that they're happy with them, they like them. Heather says they would match. I think she's referring to Barbara giving it to a granddaughter and daughter. They would match. Be a great idea for a gift. It would be. And of course, if you wanted to multi-buy or you just wanted to buy those extra little diamantes, you can mix up your colours as well, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the peridot, and then I'm going to go for this lovely aqua blue. So I'm going to make sure that from now on I've got one of those lovely little diamante colours in between each of my charms. Still working exactly the same way. You can arrange this whichever way you want to. I do think it'd make a really nice necklace though if you were going to have that. It would just hang down along your neckline. So popping on my next charm, 1, 2, 3 away from the last. Popping that through. Bringing it up a little bit closer towards my face just so I can see and get a good grip on the jump ring, making sure it's closed. Give it a little wiggle. You do flip over, and that's okay. It's going to add nice movement and a little bit of texture to your jewellery as well. Heather says, I thought I'd be getting the rose or the peridot myself. I mean, you can see camera's struggling to focus today. They're your colours together. I do think the purple and the royal blue would be lovely too. I think the green and the aqua would be lovely. You can add whatever you want. I'm going to work on both sides. You could just continue going on one way and then going on the other, but I tend to work from the middle, and then I've just definitely got my symmetry right there. So opening up my next jump ring, taking my next aqua coloured charm this time, counting 3 links away, sliding it on and closing it over. The little Diamante Charms, their veil, which are these at the top, those little loops, tend to be a tad thicker than the loop on the hearts and the stars. So I don't tend to find I need to be as purposeful closing those over, but I want to make sure that my jewellery is wearable, comfortable to wear, not going to catch on anything. So always just make sure that you're closing those jump rings as well as you possibly can. So it works the same with any size jump ring. I'm going to take both. I know it's struggling if I hold it really close. There you go. So I'm taking both parts of the surface area with my pliers. I'm going to hold it so my knuckles are facing up towards me, and then with my dominant hand, which in my case is this one here, I'm just going to be moving this one. So this is what twists. So I'm going to open it and close it by just moving it away from me or towards me, and it's just that slight movement with the wrist. This is just being held steady, which is just going to open up that jump ring and close that jump ring as I need. So I'm back with the star. And I find if you've got it all lined up in front of you, then you're just picking it up as you go. You can do that design in advance. 1, 2, 3. Moving away from that last link or that last charm. Might want to open this up a little bit more just to get it through. Check I'm in the right position. Sometimes it's handy having little pliers, and other times it's just more fiddly. 2 pairs of chain nose would be ideal for this with the size of these jump rings. As long as your plier is flat on the inside, so we're not going to be marking and damaging our jump rings. 1, 2, 3, and sliding that on. Then I'm taking both parts on my jump ring again, and I'm just moving this towards me, making sure those two little bits align nicely. If you take it slightly past the point where those two ends meet, sometimes like that you'll hear a little click, and that just means it's lined up perfectly. But if you take it slightly past that closing point and then let go, it should spring back and realign. So I'm doing my star on this side now. Sliding it through that loop at the top. And counting 3 away. 1, 2, 3. Through the link. And close it up. Just give it a little wiggle. Again, I'm just looking at it closely, checking it's nice and closed. I don't think I need to give it a push down and squish, but you can do if you want to. Barbara says, I wonder if varying lengths of the chain with the charm for each earring. You could do that. Yeah, absolutely. You could just get a little ear wire, and then you could just dangle them on, so you could have a full matching set. You don't have to include all of them onto your bracelet. If you wanted to separate them out more, then you could keep, maybe you could just have 3 hearts on or 3 stars, and then you've got those extra left over if you wanted to add them onto a pair of earrings or whatever you like. I'm going to go back for another coloured charm, sliding that on. 1, 2, 3. I do need to give that a little bit of a wiggle and a readjustment. Just a little gap. Just give it another little wiggle and it should bring it closer together. I tend to kind of give it a little close first, just to make sure I can get it nicely closed up afterwards. Adding on my charm, 3 links down. So you can see they come together really quite quickly. You could probably make your bracelet, I'd say, in about 10 minutes. Heather says, would make a nice matching set. I really want it as a necklace, but I did it as a bracelet because I thought it might be more, I don't know, I've not made a little charm bracelet for a while. Okay, so I'm going for the heart again. I'm considering which way it's going to face, so that little kind of pointed part is going to face in. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Oh, I think I've put that on the 4th one. I have. So I'm going to move it up 1. Just because I'm being particular, I want them evenly spaced. It's not the end of the world. So as you see, if you do want to change it up, all you need to do, open up the jump ring, slide it off and put it back onto where you want. Amethyst 222 says, oh, so cute, Natalie, on hold, so getting to watch live. Woohoo! I hope you're having a lovely time. Have you gone away somewhere? Or are you just off work? They would make nice holiday wear as well. Just opening up some more jump rings. On with my heart, I want it facing inwards this way. Just going to put a little bit of pressure on that just to bring it in closer. So I'm just going to readjust this one. You can see where I've put it on. It's not quite in the middle, so that link can't sit fully flat. So I'm just going to readjust it. So I'm keeping it on the same link, but just moving it up a little bit. Can you see the difference with that? So it's sitting in the middle of the link, and then that chain can move freely. So I'm going to finish off with my peridot on each side, and then a little star. One, two, three. Making sure it's sitting in the middle of the link when I pop it on. Thanks, Angela, says they're lovely, delicate charms. Ooh, Amethyst 222 is dog sitting, my son's dog at home, and doing an alkaline cleanse. Ooh, bit of spring cleaning. I feel every week I go, oh, I'm going to have a tidy up, I'm going to have a tidy up. And by the time I've just done the basics of the washing and the dishes, it's like I'm done. I'll hoover. 1, 2, 3. Sitting nice in the centre of the link on the chain and closing it up. A little wiggle. And then finally, I'm going to add on to finish with my stars. Open that up a little bit more. Counting 3 links away. So using this size jump ring that comes in your kit, don't think it detracts away from the chain itself because it's similar in size, but also it's got a nice strength and sturdiness to the jump rings, and they fit through the links of the chain, which is most important. If your jump rings don't fit through, it's not going to work. So all you need to do now is just check you're happy. I didn't close that jump ring properly. So cast your eye over your jump rings, make sure they are closed fully, and then you're not going to lose any of your charms, and it's not going to snag on any of your clothing. If you feel like you need to just give them a little push gently together, not much, just enough to close the gap. And you have your bracelet ready to go. The only thing that I'm going to add just for extra bit of detail is I've included 3 butterflies in your kit. So I'm going to take another 4x1 jump ring. And I'm going to attach my butterfly through that little loop between the wings and on to this 6mm jump ring, 6x1, which is the larger one for your clasp. You're still going to be able to get your lobster clasp through that, absolutely no problem. Just going to add an extra little bit of detail onto your bracelet. So when you come to fasten it, that will dangle at the back of your wrist. But of course, if you did want to make it a little bit shorter, you can attach your lobster clasp up through the link in the bracelet if need be. So you've got that little dangle. If you wanted to make it longer, then all I would say is cut a longer piece of chain, or you could add a little extender clasp onto it. I'm just going to realign that one. Teeny, tiny, weeny bit. This is the time that you can be perfectionists. You can make very simple, straightforward jewellery like this, but if you give it a little bit of attention when it comes to opening and closing your jump rings and choosing the layout of how you want those charms, how you want those colours to work, where you want them positioned, then what you will do is you will give your piece of jewellery a really professional finish and a high quality look. So we've got lots of colours for you today. We have, I'll run through them very quickly. We've got this beautiful, almost aquamarine type colour. It's a very beautiful aqua blue. Each kit is £4.50 and it makes 2 bracelets. We have this gorgeous, gorgeous purple. Give it a little shake, give it a little dangle. You don't make much noise, but do they make noise? I don't know whether they do. But that one is your purple. Just hold them up so you can see those lovely charms. Judith says, very pretty, thank you. Sheila says, looks so pretty. I mean, you want to make sure that your jump rings are closed nice, because while you're wearing it, it's going to have a little bit of movement. We don't want to lose any of that. We've got those gorgeous royal blue ones. Absolutely love them. We have the peridot. And we have this gorgeous rose pink colour as well. So there are your kits today, 2 bracelets in each kit for a fabulous £4.50. Hello, I'm going to be back with you on Monday. Monday I'm going to be making some a little wire project with you. So I'm going to use some gorgeous gemstone beads. I'm going to be graduating the size of the gemstone beads. And we're going to be making a focal. So the focal piece will sit in the middle of a bracelet. There's lots you could do with it. If you wanted to make the back of your bracelet with kind of like a macrame rat tail cord, you absolutely could. You could add it onto an extender chain. You could add it onto a little bit of chain, which I'm going to be including in your kits for you, so you can have it as a bracelet. You can also make them in the center point of a necklace, but you can also easily adapt them into a brooch or maybe even a hairpin, whatever you like. So there's lots of things that you can do with those designs on Monday. Basically, I did, gosh, a long time ago, probably coming up to about 4 years ago, I did something similar. We made earrings. Now you can make these into earrings as well, actually. I made earrings. I think they called them Precious Wave. And it was just doing a little bit of coiling just to add the detail around the beads. This is exactly the same technique, just a little bit more elevated. So if you can come and join me on Monday, I'd love to see you then. Let me see if I've missed anything in terms of questions. Angela's saying they'd make lovely earrings. Barbara says they're going to look lovely as a bracelet stack. Oh, thanks, Linda. She says they're beautiful and dainty. I love them. Thank you, Natalie. You're very, very welcome. Heather, you're very kind. Thank you so much. She's also saying, ooh, hairpins. Now, I've not perfected the hairpin. I might have a little go with it, though. And I'll explain that to you on Monday. Joanne says, thank you, Natalie. Lovely bracelet. Love the colours. Obviously, for me to wear, the blues are perfect. You know I'm always drawn to the blues, but actually today I'm loving my greens at the moment. But I'm just going to be naughty and I'm going to keep this one, which has got my mix of colours. But look, if that was a necklace, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? If you are in the UK, I'm wishing you a lovely, lovely Mother's Day on Sunday. Whether you're a mum or you have a mum or you miss your mum, I'm sending you lots of love. And for those who aren't, then have a lovely, lovely weekend anyway. And I will